You ready? You ready? You and I hit on alone Sunday morning here at home. Sky's blue and coffee's strong. It's true. Then I opened my eyes to a dream realized in front of me. And I haven't got a clue what in the world is happening to me. Thank you, Robert Rossi. I think I'm happy. Like first day of summer vacation, happy. Gotta get a little rest and relaxation, happy. Like the choir on Sunday morning singing true. Oh, sister, when you cook that way, sweet distraction rules my day. Kitchen table just might break from the sound of you and I rocking our bodies. Yeah, I don't understand why I wasn't your lover man 100 years ago. If I was gonna have to understand, tip there has to the man who scored. I think I'm happy. Yeah. Champ Shannon on lead vocals. Fantastic. A minor dog. Dog loves an A minor. No rapping. We don't rap. We're singing melodious tones. I gotta tune my guitar at some point, maybe never. You done? Well, I heard there was a secret dog. David played and he sat by a log. You don't really care for Poopy, do ya? Well, it goes like this, the fourth, the fifth, might have fallen eventually. Baffled king composing hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. You done? Hallelujah, hallelujah. Oh, yeah. Happy date night, everybody. Cam Catkin from Cleveland. What's happening? Cam is a new mod here tonight. So troll away. She'll have to deal with it. Thank you for modding, Cam. Sorry. So here's the deal. Cam asked to mod like, I don't know, a week or two ago. And I said, sure. And so I let her in the Mighty Networks channel where the mods hang out. And then she couldn't ever mod. Like TikTok was broken. She could not pin comments. It was horrible. Not quite as horrible as my hair, but it was bad. Turns out I never set her up as a mod. With most computer problems, it is usually a user error. So, all right. What a fantastic way to spend a Friday night. Champ and Kyle tunes. Well, that's in doses, right? You know, Champ you could listen to all night. But, you know. it's like an open mic night that no one asked to have. All right, so Cam's in. We're all good. I don't see the mod icon on Cam's name. I think it's there. I think she just pinned something. I think she's good to go. All right. I just got back in. We were out doing a little gallery hopping. And I ate like a quick little meal here. So if I get hiccups, that's what's going on. My glasses are dirty. Looks like Champ took a poop on my lenses. Happy Friday night, everybody. Welcome to the AI Learning Lab. I'm also giving coiffing advice for any of you looking to do something really nice with your hair. And I am the before picture. So I'm here for your inspiration, for your oh my God, what the fuck is going on up there? What are you gonna do? And is this shirt, nope, can't pin. Huh, hang on. Hold please. Where are settings? Settings. Moderators. I know I set you up. And you're not in there. Weird. Plus. Cam. Add. Confirm. I've already done this, TikTok. Try it now, Cam. 15:04 here for me. Saturday the 20th. So 15:04 is, I used to be a military brat. 3:04? 3:04 in the afternoon. Saturday at 3:04 in the afternoon. Right? Is that right, Steve-O? Don't use military time. We're in America. We can't handle the fucking metric system. You think we can handle military time? Okay, let's try it. You pinned that, right? Cam, yeah. All right, so Cam is now pinning away. Woohoo! Okay, she's happy. She's good to go. Everyone's excited. Except whoever did my hair. They need a demerit. Always military time. Sherry D. Yeah, I know. If you're in the military, I was just an Air Force brat. When I was a kid, I was like, I either want to be a pilot or a stuntman, a Hollywood stuntman. I went the acting route. My dad went the pilot route. I went the acting route. So, you know. And it was funny. He always talked about, I wish I'd have gone into acting. I'm like, I wish I could learn how to fly fucking super cool jets. But whatever. I've got sim racing now. Well, I used to have sim racing. Now I've got a TikTok channel. This time slot in my life used to be reserved for about 10 feet that way for my racing rig. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to talk about AI shit. That's what we do here. It's your gallery hopping hair. Yeah, well, it was not on purpose. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. You know, whenever my hair looks this shitty, my fallback position is, well, at least you got hair. You'd think if I had hair, I would take some fucking pride in it, you know? But no, we've got, this isn't even like 90s. So I sort of oscillate between 70s carpet salesman and like, you know, 90s agency hipster. And then this is like some 1980s flock of seagulls meets Mad Men. It's just bad. Copilot Pro came out. Oh yeah, Copilot Pro came out. That's interesting. So Copilot Pro is $20 a month. This is being able to have essentially GPT-4 inside Microsoft Word, Excel, all the Office 365 suite for individuals. Enterprises had access to it previously, but now they've done general release. I think enterprises, it was $30 per seat per person. I think individuals is $20 per seat per person. So it seems like all of these companies are kind of landing on $20 a month as the price. So that's what I'm guessing Gemini Ultra is going to be. I think they're going to call it Bard Advanced is what I remember reading. 30-minute hellos. Indeed, this is the time. This is the time we do the 30-minute hellos. We'll talk a little bit of AI stuff in the hellos here. I also saw an interesting thing that I didn't believe it was real. There was a sort of selfie video of Mark Zuckerberg talking about Llama 3 and how many H100s they have and how many H100 equivalents they have. It's pretty insane what Meta's doing, if this is true. So we can go look because it may not be true. But they apparently have 300,000 H100 GPUs. Those things are like 20 grand a piece or 22 grand a piece or 30 grand. I don't know. They're a lot of money. So they've got 300,000 of them. And then if you combine all their other GPUs that are not H100s, they have sort of the equivalent of 300,000 more H100s just in raw compute power. So they have 600,000 H100 GPU equivalents that they are training Llama 3 on. That it's fucking insane. Like Perplexity that just raised $1 billion. They bought 22,000 GPUs for their server farm, and Meta's throwing 600,000 at this thing. And then what Zuckerberg said is they're going to open source Llama 3. One of my thoughts was that they wouldn't. Who's going to use a Galaxy AI on the S24? That's another thing we could talk about. Is the Samsung keynote where they announced that new Galaxy. I think people will use it. I mean, anyone who buys it. They did this cool thing called Circle to Search with AI. So at anything on your screen, you can scribble over it or draw a circle around it, and it'll do an immediate search on it. What's the best way to get into AI as a dev? Well, I would say it depends. Like a dev doing what? Like it's such a broad question. It's a good question. Do you want to work for a research lab doing sort of the hardcore math? Do you want to develop applications that are standalone? Do you want to do kind of front end dev and just be doing basic calls? Like, I would think a really good place to cut your teeth is start setting up your own open source servers, right? Set up a Google Colab instance with GPUs on it and just go nuts in the open source world. Just start learning all the different open source models. I think as a dev, the more educated you can be, like you should understand what LangChain is. You should understand some of the agent softwares like Agent GPT and Auto GPT. You should understand, semantic search versus embedding and how you and RAGs, retrieval augmented generation. If you're not ragging, you're not developing these days. You should follow David Shapiro on YouTube. Back-end stuff for Google, etc. Yeah, so if you want to do back-end stuff, you should be going deep into autonomous agents, LangChain, RAG, and get into some of the open source projects. David Shapiro's got two that I think are really interesting. One is a cognitive architecture for AGI, totally open source. You can join that project and contribute to it. And then the other one is an agent spawning, some sort of agent fucking thing. When ChatGPT came out with the Assistant API, building a whole bunch of cool shit on that. So I just go start building. Go get educated as fuck on the open source community and build. Understand the OpenAI APIs. understand Google's APIs, because Google's APIs are really interesting right now, and they're going to get really interesting when Ultra comes out. Google has a free course. MIT has a free course. Stanford has a free course. Meta has a free course. I think Meta has one. But I wouldn't I wouldn't worry too much about courses. If you're already a developer, like I just start building shit. Just go to Hugging Face and GitHub and look at the trending projects. Everything's AI. Every project on Hugging Face, every project on GitHub that are trending, it's all AI projects. Just go fucking pick 3 and just go dive into them. That's what I'd do. Anyway, all right. We haven't even started yet. What are we going to talk about, people? What are we going to talk about? Lovely image here from Danielle. Very nice. Little Japanese Zen garden. Or you can buy an AI certification for $997.
You can make money with ChatGPT.
You can make money if you sell $997 certifications right now. Although I gotta say, if you're on the technical side of things, some of those certifications, if you're getting into machine learning and mathematics and things like that, that's enough established that there are valid courses and certifications and workshops on that side. If you're on the business end of ChatGPT, where you're not so much a developer, that's where it's a lot squishier. But even still, even that back end stuff is moving so fast, because what's happening in the open source community is, OpenAI and Anthropic and Google, they're all kind of leapfrogging each other. These big tech companies are doing what they can to, one up one another. And then the open source community is sitting back there taking, the Llama 2 model, and they're sort of mixing and matching all these different approaches that they're seeing all these different companies do, like mixture of experts, right? That was the whole thing came out on ChatGPT 4 using mixture of experts model. And so now Mixtral came out with that. And so the open source community is just going nuts on all these different models. And so I think if you're a developer, I think that's the place to be, because open source projects are going to start leapfrogging commercial entities, and it's going to get wild. Wait, there's not a plan for tonight's class? There's never a plan. I never plan. I do not read manuals. My son Zach does. It drives me fucking batty. Dad, we got to read the manual. It's a shovel. Do you know what that little notch is for? No, and I don't care. It's usually something cool, the shit he discovers by reading the manual. I'm not saying it's not a positive impact on my life. It's just, come on. You rip open the box. You do not open it carefully so that you can put it back together and return it. No. If you bought the thing, you're into it. You rip the box open, you take the thing out, you break it because you didn't read the manual, and then you take it back to the store, you get in an argument with the people that they sold you a defective thing, and then the guy behind the counter goes, "You didn't read the manual, did you?" And you're like, No, I read the manual. This was defective. It was broken like that when I got it. And you get in a fight with them, and then you take your broken thing back and try to fix it. This is how you live life, people. If you read the manual, you miss that human interaction. You're welcome. These are the kind of life lessons that other channels just don't give you. We keep our pinkies out because we're classy. Can you touch on what Hugging Face is? Barely. So Hugging Face is... Okay. Yes, I can. There are kind of 2 main repositories right now of codey kind of stuff. There's GitHub, which is a big code repository. So developers, if they're developing stuff, put that there. Hugging Face was set up as a model repository. So with Stable Diffusion, for example, which is an image generation tool, there's all sorts of different fine-tuned models that people are building on top of the open source model that Stability AI put out. And so they save them as these new checkpoints and models, and they upload them to Hugging Face. So it started out as just a directory of AI models that you could use for different tools. It's since sort of grown lots of tentacles. They've raised a lot of money. There's now runtime environments there where you can play with models. So it's not just about downloading them. Now you can play with them. I think there's code repositories there. Both GitHub and Hugging Face, if you are a non-developer, are the shittiest interfaces in the history of the internet. They're just there's just links everywhere. It's just like a sea of hyperlinks, and if you don't know which one to click on, well, that's just because you're a clueless noob. And that's their attitude. So the one cool thing about Hugging Face, though, which is kind of fun. So if you go to Hugging Face as a non-developer, if you're a developer, you're on your own. Go figure that shit out. Let me lower my brightness there. Let's go to Hugging Face. So it's huggingface.co. And then when you first get here, here's models, and that's like super geeky, just, models. And like the H94/IP adapter -face ID. I'll tell you what, when I was playing with the H94-IP adapter -face ID, it was the funniest thing. No one's saying that. Okay? So there's models, and then there's data sets. So ChatGPT prompts, telechat, right? Then in the middle, this thing with color, these are called spaces. And so what the spaces are places where you can go play with models that developers have set up, where you don't actually have to install anything. A lot of times they're overrun with people using them and they're slow and you can't do it. But let's see, segment anything web. And basically the way they're ordered is whatever are the ones that show up at the top are kind of the most popular ones that people are playing with right now. So this is segment anything, so we can upload an image here. If you haven't seen segment anything, it's pretty slick. Yeah, this will be a good one. And I haven't played with this before, by the way. So reset image, extracting image embedding. Left click positive points, right click negative points. Oh yeah, okay. So see, wait. So what segment anything does, this is a free model that Meta put out, is it automatically goes into this image and it identifies different objects within the image. So like there's the floor, there's the main subject, there's this dude, there's that dude's shirt, there's that dude's pants. Let's see, there's her dress, there's her shirt, that's that lady, that's that dude, there's his face, there's his hat. Look, each of these letters is segmented. Now, so you're like, yeah, but Kyle, what is this? So this is just basically a thing that Meta put out, that every one of these things that was highlighted, a developer would be able to identify things within this. So if you see those crazy, parking lot things that identify, here's cars and here's parking spaces that have come available. It's using this kind of technology, but this is just a super easy thing that Meta put out for free. So anyway, so that's what Hugging Face is. You can go find models there. If you want to geek out, it's a place where you can go. You can run deep. With all of this stuff, a good place to start is with Reddit. So go to Reddit and then go to subreddits for things like Stable Diffusion or Open Source AI or Hugging Face, or right within subreddit, there's all these different communities that you can play with. All right, Kyle, which is the best image generator you recommend? Good question. What's your name? Zindel. Let me go show you something else first, and then I'm going to get you there. So hang with me. So the first place I want you to go is there, the Salon.ai. Okay? The Salon.ai. Don't use HTTPS. It doesn't work because I set up the domain as a lazy man. And I didn't check some stupid fucking box that said use HTTPS. But where's the manual for AI? The Salon.ai. Yeah, there you go. So that's where I'm taking you, the Salon.ai. And then what that's going to take you to is the Salon. And how you pronounce it is the Salon.ai. It's not salon. Salon is where you go get a lovely hairdo like mine. But the Salon is where you go get your shit together with AI. Okay, so when you come here, it's a link tree. The first link is to the community. That's where we're going to go. That's where we're going to talk about image generation recommendations. There's also a couple of links here for the GPT for Good event directory in the YouTube playlist. The GPT for Good event was 3 weekends ago. Anne Murphy and I and Vicky Baptiste put together this event that our goal was to have people build 100 GPTs in a 24-hour period for nonprofits. This community got together and kicked ass and built more than 150. So that's what these are. This is the directory that Vicky built. These are the YouTube playlist of the sessions where Ann and I taught. And then there's also a what's this called? Merch store that supports the Salon. So the Salon doesn't cost you anything, the Salon Community. So go to the Salon Community and sign in, join if you haven't joined, and accept your cookies. Accept your cookies, people. We've got to track you with your cookies. We're going to grab your cookies. We've dropped cookie crumbles on your just do your cookie. Just accept all. Just don't read the terms of service. Everybody owns your data. It's gone. It's gone. You gave it up 15 years ago. All right. So we're going to log in here. And I'm quite fond of this community. So this community is growing quickly. The first thing I'd like you to do when you come here is go to Welcome to the Salon. You can ignore that dude. I'll show you what that's about in a second. That's some lovingly troll. Love the construction paper and the cool cutout for the microphone. Exactly. That's my microphone cutout, and here's my trackpad so I can scale things up and down. Look, this is some serious construction paper. Nothing but the best production values for 2024 for the AI Salon. And look, not for nothing. For you people, look how much black construction paper I ordered. Just so that I could do that one thing. Look at that. Look at that. What am I going to do with this? This is the burden. This is the burden of doing a world-class video production studio. You got to deal with pounds and pounds of black construction paper. Okay. So when you get to the Salon, go to Welcome to the Salon and read up on who we are and what we're about. Label it and put it on the merch store. This is a high-class salon if ever there was one. Exactly, people. And then the other thing that I'd like you to do is please check out our values. Values? What is this? Some kind of accessories poster? You Gen Xer? No. Values are actually really important because as this community grows, like right now, this community is quite remarkable. And as it grows, I want it to stay remarkable. How do we do that? Well, we actually understand who are the people that are here and we talk about it. So, like, we want people here that are curious and are actively seeking answers to things, not cynical people that are like, it's okay. No, we want people that are curious. We want people that are generous. Generosity is one of the values. How do we learn? Well, people within the community, they learn shit, and then because they're generous, they share what they learned. And this is happening right now in this community. There's not information hoarding going on, maybe a little bit. You know, people got to keep their competitive edge, but for the most part, they're out there going, here's what I learned. Here's what I couldn't figure out. Here's where this thing sucks. And then someone else goes, oh, I figured out this piece of it. And then someone else goes, oh, I figured out this piece of it. And then they explore, try new tools together. So that's exploration is a value. Then there's collaboration. Hey, what if we work together? Hey, you want to put something together? That's happening a lot in here. Inclusion, because everyone's coming from everywhere. No, everyone's being affected by this AI stuff, so we don't know where people are going to come from, so we better be open to that. And then empathy. Understanding that right now, people are scared of AI. They're angry about AI, largely because they don't understand it. There's a tremendous amount of misunderstanding and misinformation about AI. Good morning from Greece. Angelique, welcome, welcome, welcome. That's fantastic. So empathy is really important. Understanding that people are going through shit, and if we can understand that and have some empathy for where they are, then we can say, yeah, this stuff is scary. I can understand why you're angry. Want to see something cool? And then you show them something cool. And if you do it right, they have their first Kevin McAllister moment, which is this moment. If you remember Home Alone. Generative AI, when you get into it, is a series of rolling Kevin McAllister moments where you just get your mind blown, like one thing after another. And you think you've seen it all, and then you go look at one of these image generation tools, and then you think you've seen that all. You're like, oh, I've got Midjourney mastered. And then you go over to Kriya or Deco here, and it starts rendering images in real time as you're typing your prompt. You're like, what the hell is going on here? So anyway, that's what you do when you first get to the salon, is read about who we are and what we're up to. And if that resonates with you, then this is likely your people. And you can kind of think of the AI Salon as a support group for people that are curious about AI. One of the things I'm hearing a lot lately is, oh my God, is this seriously a place I can talk about AI? Because every time I talk about AI with my friends, they tell me to shut up and I'm a weirdo and they don't like me anymore. Can I talk about it here? Is it going to be okay? And we welcome them into the circle, point them to the coffee machine, and tell them to smoke a cigarette and start making images of Dali. It's a support group. So come in, introduce yourself. So that's the next thing to do. So first thing is check out what we're about. The second thing to do is in the community section, the first little tab here is introduce yourself. So my request, my strong request is to go introduce yourself. Wait, there's a coffee machine? And be generous. Don't just say, hey, I'm here. I'm here, eat it, losers. Come in and tell us what you do. Tell us what your background is. Tell us where you are on the AI adventure. Oh, I'm just getting started. I've been really into it for a year, but nobody knows it. Can I talk about it here without being humiliated? Wherever you are. I've been in it for 30 years, but this generative AI stuff's different. So I'm trying to figure out people that are figuring this out better than I am. And then another fun area, and I am going to get to the person that asked, what's an image tool recommendation? Here's one of the things about this channel. It's really fucking annoying if you just want the answer. The nickname of this channel, well, Teresa just subscribed for the first time. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the support. Makes a big difference. One of the nicknames for the channel, one of the many nicknames for the channel is Chat ADD. So we're neuro spicy friendly in here. And I'm a laminated card carrying member of the ADHD club. And so I'm all over the fucking place, but I will eventually get there. And if I was heading in an important direction and I get lost, the mods actually put me back on track. They're like, hey, Kyle, don't forget to talk about that thing you promised. So I'll eventually get there. But the show and tell channel in the AI Salon is an absolute fucking blast, because what the show and tell channel has turned into, while these lives are on, is like a total fucking jam session, where if I say something stupid, people will make images about it. Or if I say something that deserves being trolled, they'll make stupid images about it. Or people are sharing GPTs that they've made, or they're sharing songs that they wrote on Suno, or they're sharing tips and tricks and things like that. So it's just a really fun place. So oh, look, here's the AI Salon. Welcome to the AI Salon, right? This is the salon, not the salon. This is Bad Hair Day week. Thank you, Mr. IT. It is flattering. You gotta have thick skin if you're gonna have a TikTok channel at 58. Because this is the shit you're gonna deal with. The mission starts at 15:05. The hell time is that? That's how to stump the Yankees. Backstory to follow. Oh, Joker. Steve-O, please, no backstory. Oh, that's a solid one. Look, it's sort of that's sort of what my hair's looking like. Blanton's debut. Champy singing, me guitaring, and the fantastic Battle of Blanton's. That's beautiful. AI Salon Late Show. Oh man, these are cool. Gaio. So anyway, go put some wacky ass stuff in there. Beautiful. Ooh, that's nice. Actually, I like that logo. Cindy Kuhn, welcome, Cindy Kuhn. What's happening? I'm excited about our project. We have Cindy Kuhn and I are working on a super cool project that she initiated. It's gonna be so cool. Gonna be so cool, people. I'm Blind. This channel has helped me a lot in my AI journey. Jeffrey Lombardo, thank you so much. That's awesome. I'm listen. One of the things I'm so excited about with AI is accessibility, like on all levels. We were talking about this. It's funny in our conversation today, talking about the project Cindy and I are working on. Accessibility was a huge piece of the conversation, and it was everything from foreign languages to if someone's blind, or if they're deaf, or if they're cognitively impaired. There's all sorts of research going on where people are now, kind of thinking things into existence because researchers are finding ways to take brain patterns and turn those into computer actions using generative AI. Like just the accessibility stuff with these tools are just insane. And we've barely gotten started. So thank you for that. I'm really excited. I'm glad this helps. And it's like it is still kind of random. So just hang in there. I'll eventually get to the point. Okay. So that's show and tell. So there's also a water cooler discussion channel. There's a news channel. I'm going to come back to tools and resources. There's a shameless self-promotion channel. So if you've got some event you want to do, you can put it there. And then there's also guilds, and the guilds are really cool. What the guilds are within the salon are sub-communities. So Stacy and Matt, Mr. K, from here on TikTok, just started an education guild. There's a video guild they've got their first meeting coming up. Healthcare. Pate, who works at Google, has got the AI Mechanics Guild. If you want to go geek out, there's a business guild, writers guild, art guild, and then Peter Kaminsky has an AI 101 guild. And today, Peter from the AI 101 guild and Leah from the art guild got together and they put on a Midjourney class. And Peter's like, I don't know how many images he's made, but it's probably north of 100,000 using Midjourney. So this is a guy that's in. Hey, I need to verify that my monthly subscription is going directly to Champy, as originally agreed. I'll get him in here. Champy, do you get all the chicken treats you need, buddy? Huh? And listen, technically guitar strings go to Champy. Because I can't play a chord without hearing that fucking dog sing. So it's chicken strips and it's guitar strings. And an occasional whiskey. You got to keep the dogs loose. All right. I've gone from wiring boards and key punch cards to learning AI. What a journey. Yeah, so let's see. Michael Bothorth, is that right? Yeah. So it's funny. My is Peter's class a recorded one? I assume they recorded it. Peter's pretty good about that stuff. So I would say go into the. I think it was in the art guild, but go into art or Peter's 101 guild and just ask. Talking about punch cards. So when I first started college at Penn State, here I'll flip back over for a second. When I first started college at Penn State, I knew I enjoyed acting, but I'm like, I can't, you can't go into acting. But I was good at computers, and I'm like, I'll do computer science. And so what I knew of computers back then was like the Apple II and the Mac was rumored to come out, and I learned to program on a Trash 80, personal computers. So I walk into my first computer Comp Sci 101 class at Penn State, and I walk into this room, and it's full of like gray and military green IBM 3780 mainframe computers, and this dweeby little nerd walks in with a stack of punch cards, like it was like up to his chin. He was like holding him down, stack of punch cards, and he walks in and he goes, "This is a computer program." And he goes, what you'll be doing is you'll be typing lines of code onto these cards, and you run them into these machines, and then they generate reports over here. And it was the big wide green and white paper. And you'll be running reports for big corporations for the rest of your life. And I was like, the hell I will. And I changed my major to theater the next day. I was like, I am fucking out. If that's your definition of a computer, and if that's my definition of my next 30 or 40 years, nope. I'd rather be fucking broke. So anyway, Kyle likes to say I work at Google, but I also have a PhD in comp sci. Exactly. Yeah, Pate's got it going on. So Pate's mechanics guild's really cool. If you're into the geeky stuff, he can get you up to speed and help explain some of that stuff, especially for if people are in batch printing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because you had to timeshare the computers, right? And so if you were a freshman, you had to come in at 10 o'clock at night because the elder students got the earlier slots. Yeah, exactly. I'm really interested in seeing these tools in the hands of the elderly. Oh my God, the elderly and dementia. I lost my dad to Alzheimer's, and it's like I just the idea of people that are sort of lonely, don't have someone to talk to, that can talk to a familiar voice, that knows all the stories, that is infinitely patient, that is there 24/7. Holy shit. It's amazing. Okay, so back to this. So check out the guilds. The guilds are super cool. Let me go to AI tools and resources. So I am going to get to image generation tools and what my recommendations are. This list is a list that I personally curate. It's the AI Salon, top recommendations. Where I start is, so if you haven't tried ChatGPT, if you're in this channel and you're just here because, my supermodel good looks and clearly I've got a world-class Italian hair coiffure. If you're just here for the eye candy, that's fine. But if you actually want to learn something about AI and you have not played with ChatGPT, if you're sitting on the sidelines, right now, drop everything, seriously. Go to chat.openai.com and start playing. While you're listening to me ramble, start playing with ChatGPT. Even ChatGPT, the free version of ChatGPT, is still better than most of the other large language models out there. It's incredibly capable. It's very, very fast. It's incredibly capable. And then if you can afford the $20 a month, I personally think if you want to be in the AI game at all, $20 a month for ChatGPT 4 is the bargain of the century. Like, the amount of stuff it does for $20 a month is insane. But you actually have to learn what it is. So this list not only tells you, that it's there, but it says, here's all the functions within it that you should be learning. And, I go over those. come back to this channel regularly because I go over this stuff all the time. So start with ChatGPT. Then below that, I've got 8 different large language models that I think are worth playing with. You've got the big 4 that I think are the big 4 right now: Claude, Bard, Perplexity, and Microsoft Copilot, which that's basically ChatGPT-4 for free. Perplexity is really interesting. They just raised $75 million from Andreessen Horowitz. Bard is Google, and that's about to get a real kick in the ass quality-wise when Gemini Ultra comes out. And Claude is another very well-funded direct competitor to ChatGPT. A bunch of ex-ChatGPT people, the people that created GPT-3, went off and created Anthropic, which makes Claude. And then the specialty LLMs, you got Pi, Grok, Llama 2, and Poe, all worth exploring, okay? So just ChatGPT, if you haven't played with this stuff before, you could spend the next month or 2 just learning what all these things are. And what I would recommend is just have fun with them. Don't take it seriously. Just go have fun. Make it do stupid shit. Do what we call in here parlor tricks. Make it write poems and songs and tables comparing ridiculous items and create a meal plan that features gummy bears. Just fucking throw shit at it and see what it does, and you'll learn a lot. Survey is up. Okay, we're gonna take a survey now. Hang on here, people. All right, we got 4 minutes. So we're asking, what generation are you? So the survey, click the little. It looks like a little blue and white checkbox over in that corner. And you got 4 minutes. And so we want to know, are you a boom? Wait, we got Gen X in here twice. I assume you wanted Gen Z. So the D says Gen X, but D should be Gen Z. I don't know if you can edit that, but boomers, Gen Xers, Gen Yers, Gen Zers, or I don't knows. All right, so just understand, if you're in this channel, you should be smart enough to understand that B and D are not the same. B is Gen X, D is Gen Z. Okay, glad we covered that up. Definitely boomer. Start over. That's up to you guys. I don't care. I could end it. You want me to end it and start over? All right, fine, I'll do that. Hang on, I'm going to end this. Ending it. All right. There you go. So whoever's doing the surveys, do it again. Just make sure Gen Z is right. I think you want a Gen Z for D. Okay. So let's keep going. When that comes back up, I'll pull it up. So you've got ChatGPT, then you've got these 8 large language models below it. Then you've got image generation. So here's the deal with image generation. These things are different enough right now that the answer to which one's best is, what are you trying to do? And where do you work? And what are you looking for? Because they're very, very different. DALL-E 3 is the image generation tool that lives inside ChatGPT and inside Microsoft Copilot. So the nice thing about Microsoft Copilot is that you get DALL-E 3 for free. If you're in ChatGPT, you need to have the $20 a month subscription to get DALL-E 3. But I would argue that DALL-E 3 inside ChatGPT is a significantly better tool than what's inside Microsoft Copilot, just because of a lot of reasons. The nice thing about DALL-E 3, it's good with text. It's not perfect, but it can do text. So you see a lot of those images in show and tell that have hey, Kyle, what's going on? Or Champy this or whatever. That's DALL-E 3 for the most part. Midjourney's getting better. V6 is better at text, but it's still not great. But Midjourney is, if you want high quality images, Midjourney's still the gold standard. Okay? Krea and Decohere are both leaning into, there's a new thing that came out from Stable Diffusion called SDXL Turbo, which is instantly rendering images while you type prompts. And I can show those. Krea and Decohere are almost more like jazz, than how do we do this? So All right. Okay. Hang on. Okay. Mid-Journey's like speed metal. You gotta be really technically good, like Polyphia kind of stuff. That's Mid-Journey. Dolly 3's like Americana, like simple, good songs, good just sing along songs, good storytelling. Kriya and Decohere are more like fusion jazz. They're like jazz. They're wacky time signatures and things like that. Leonardo actually, so Leonardo's built on top of a bunch of stable diffusion tools. It can now do real-time image generation. It can do traditional stable diffusion stuff. You can train models within Leonardo. They give you 150 credits a day, which is it works out to about 10 images a day. It's not as much as it seems, but it's still you can use it for free. And it's also doing video now, so stable video diffusion. So Leonardo is a really interesting tool because there's a lot there. And then you've got Adobe Firefly, and Adobe Firefly is hasn't been trained on any copywritten images. So if you work within a corporation, you can use images that are generated in Firefly and Photoshop, generative fill, and all that commercially because there's not as big a risk as you have with something like Midjourney, which clearly has been trained on artists' images because somebody leaked the big long fucking list of artists that they trained Midjourney on. So if you've got ethical issues with how those other things were trained, then Firefly's really good. Or if you work for a corporation that's super conservative, then it's really good. Now, is it as good? No. Why? Because it wasn't trained on as much art. So everything's a balance right now. Now, if you're like, but Kyle, that's too much. Can you just tell me which one's the best? Did you see my news post about Adobe and Mighty Networks? I did, and it's what did they do? I forget what it was. It's hang on, I can go see it. Wait, what's that? AI Learning Lab. Hang on, Danielle. Yeah, there was some news about I think Firefly became commercially available and it's free. Isn't that right, Danielle? Oh, Mighty Networks is being weird. It keeps resetting. Anyway, all right, whatever. I'll figure it out. Monetize images, free Firefly. That's what it was. Yeah. So go check out. There's some Adobe announcements yesterday, but one of them is Firefly is now free, which is great. It didn't used to be. You had to have a Creative Cloud subscription. So there you go. Some of these, some of the prices of these things are trending toward free. Oh, that's actually a good point. Okay, so DALL-E 3 is free within Microsoft Copilot. It's included within the $20 a month for ChatGPT. Midjourney costs you money. I think the minimum is $10 a month. Kriya is absolutely free, which is pretty amazing because it's a powerful tool, and it's got more than their real-time engine. It's got background removal, and it's got an upscaler, and it's all free. Decohere is free. Now, these things that are free right now, here's a little software economics lesson for you. The reason they're free right now is they're trying to get you to use their tool instead of Midjourney or instead of some other tool. So they're free initially, and then basically what happens is this. When they burn through their Series A or Series B money, then the Series C people come in and go, yeah, about how much money you're blowing. Let's go on ahead and start charging people for that. So these are not going to be free forever. So use them while you can. Okay, beautiful. So we have we got 31 votes. Okay, so in here tonight, out of 31 votes, we've got 30% are boomers, 50% are Gen Xers, which makes sense. That's who I am. 12% are Gen Yers, 6% are Gen Zers. Welcome, Gen Zers. 3% don't know, which is one person. That's okay. But welcome. That's pretty cool. That's kind of that's about what I would expect. I would love to see some more younger people in here, but you have an old fuck, leading the channel, so I think young people are like, why is Grandpa on TikTok? Flick, flick, flick. But we have people in here like Rudy from South Africa. He's a young sprightly feller. He's in here regularly. So if you know some youngins in your life, tell him to come in here. Tell him this is an old guy. He's not bad. He's got decent energy. In fact, do me a favor now. We got 139 people in here. Do me a favor right now. Share this live, either with Gen Y or Gen Zers, so some young people in your life, especially if you know it's going to piss them off. Because I've got 23-year-old twin boys upstairs. They hate this AI shit. So share this thing with young people in your life, or with people in your life that don't want to hear about AI anymore. That's who we want to get in here. All right. Trained. Aren't we all trained on other people's arts? Yeah, so Brendan, BT Comp KSU, what you're talking about is the reality of what's actually happening. The larger these training sets get, the less it makes sense that every individual artist within it's got to be compensated because their art was used in the training set. There's a point at which these training sets get so big that they've been trained on all of the output of all of the humanity. And the large language models and the image models and the music models and the animation models and the video models, they all essentially become like the global Library of Congress, right? Or like the global museum or the global library, right? That we've all contributed to and we all get to benefit from. So there's absolutely an argument that says that. 130 people and 8 or so robots. Which ones, I'll never tell. Pate's good. So I was in here the other night bragging about how I can absolutely 100% guarantee no one will ever jailbreak your GPT. And by the time I finished that sentence, Pate had jailbroken my GPT, which was really awesome of him to do. But I'm actually serious. I'm glad he did it because I was not making a promise. What I was actually saying is assume that anything that you put in your GPT will be had by the public if they really want it, and then Pate made it so, proved that that was the case. I made a Llama to show what it's capable of, but it was at work and scared of HIPAA. Oh yeah, I know. Listen, the HIPAA stuff is scary right now. We've still got. I think we've probably still got. We'll see what OpenAI and Google do. I don't think Google's going to address any of this shit. GPT-5 could address some of this stuff where they will get more reliable and they will start to have reasoning, and God help us, they have some better privacy and security. So my gut is telling me that we have, as like this collective little ragtag bunch of people just trying to figure this shit out, probably 18 months before the tools themselves are stable enough and secure enough that big companies really lean into them. Healthcare companies are probably going to be 18 months after that, right? So we're probably 3 years out from healthcare companies really leaning into this generative AI stuff. They might lean into it on the business process side, but anything on the patient side is going to be slower. But what that means for all of us is that the opportunity for all of us, if you just all you need to do in the next 18 months is simply get AI literate. And what that means is be curious. Like, honestly, dig through this list that I have on the AI Salon. Start with ChatGPT, learn it, play with it, have fun with it. Go make figure out what are the differences between like Perplexity's really good at research and Pi's really good at conversational stuff, and Grok from X is not good for shit. How do you learn that? Well, you just go play with it and you go figure it out. And then start playing with the image generation stuff, and you'll figure out what this is good at, and you'll have a lot of fun, and you'll get inspired, and you'll realize, oh, I've always wanted to be able to be an artist, and now I can be, or whatever it is. And just play, and then do the same with the video generation tools. Runway ML and Pika Labs are the two biggies for generating content, and then HeyGen and D-ID are good for avatar creation. And then Visla, and I should probably add, what was that one that we put up the other day? Another video tool. I don't know. But Visla's good for now. And then there's music and audio tools. And then there's 3D worlds and objects. And then there's people to follow. And the 4 people that I have here, are there more than 4 to follow? Fuck yes, there's a ton more to follow. But these are like solid, like, will deliver the goods week after week kind of people. All right? If you're not a robot, click on all the boxes that contain stoplights. That's good, Steve-O. But anyway, like, just being in the conversation in the next 18 months and getting curious about this stuff and kind of understanding what these tools make possible is going to yield you opportunities you cannot imagine right now. And I can't imagine right now. Today I had my first live on TikTok. Mr. IT! How do you do it, Kyle? I understand now all. Yeah. So here's the deal, Mr. IT. When I started doing these lives, here, I'll tell you how I did it. I like this image. This is where we all are right now. We're in a little inner tube with our pet llama in the middle of the North Atlantic Ocean in the middle of a storm. This is where we all are right now. But we're in there together. That's what the AI Salon's about. Is about doing it with other people. That's what this channel's about. Here's what I did, Mr. IT. Is I have a thing I can do in my brain. I suppose it's a talent where I can just flip a switch and then I'll just commit to something, and I kind of commit to it blindly. Winston, good to see you. Thank you for that llama. I love that llama. The reason there are so many llamas in all of these images is because for the early days of this live, every time I would say Llama 2 or Llama 1 from Meta, Winston would throw up that dancing llama, and so it became one of the official animals of the AI Learning Lab. But the way I did this live was I said, well, for the most part, when I get home after work, I eat dinner, watch a little TV, and then I go do sim racing. And I was doing like an hour and a half, 2 hours of sim racing a night, to the point that I got Sim Racer's heel, which I don't know if you've ever had it, but it really sucks. It's basically like a super tight Achilles tendon that makes my heel hurt. And it's still pretty bad, and I haven't done it in a while. And so I just said, what if I give up sim racing and just do these lives? And so I said, fuck it. I said, I'll just do it every night. And I'll tell you, Mr. IT, probably the first 2 months, I had regular anxiety and panic attacks, either before the live or during the live and so I just said, fuck it. I'm going to do another one. Fuck it. I'm going to do another one. And sometimes I would sit there for like 10 minutes. The little red live button was sitting there, and my heart would be racing, and I'm like, I don't know what to say. And I'd try to be doing homework and coming up with plans. And then I'd just go, oh, fuck. And that's just do it. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. It's TikTok. This stuff is ephemeral. I mean, I'm saving these things on YouTube, but I'm really saving them on YouTube because I know that what's coming from a technology perspective is going to be the ability to take a body of work, like 2 to 3 hour nightly videos for 6 months or a year, and do some really interesting shit with that. I don't know what it is yet, but that I want to play with. Where do you go to learn about creating GPTs channels? I don't know. I do not know what you mean. What do you mean channels? You're an inspiration, Kyle. Thank you. I was on a call today. Our Storyvine app for this one client is just like malbehaving. It's being an asshole. And so we're on the phone today doing a tech troubleshooting call with this lovely young woman from Texas, who was just super sweet and trying to help us out. And at one point I said something and she said, how did she say it? She goes, well, I hope this helps, sir. And I was like, ah. It's like, don't call me sir. She was taken aback because she's from Texas. They're like, that's how I was raised. I call people sir. So, yeah, when I hear I'm an inspiration, it hits me kind of like that. Like, sir? I'm like, ah. Custom GPT resources in the salon. I'm going to send you more newbies I talked about. Wait, what was that? I don't know what I'd be doing right now if you hadn't started doing this. So grateful for you. Oh, thank you very much, Danielle. I appreciate that. So grateful you pushed on. Yeah, listen, I mean, here's the deal. Here's the honest to God truth of why I pushed through that is I've been in this movie before, right? I started one of the early digital agencies in 1994. And I also started a group called the World Wide Web Artist Consortium, which was a New York City-based, anyone who's interested in the World Wide Web, join this little group. And that little group turned into like a 2,500 person, juggernaut that anyone in the New York City, they called it Silicon Alley at the time, right? Silicon Alley reporter. That's me and my co-founder of agency.com. Anyone who was at all interested in the web was a part of this group in New York City, and we would meet every other week in the Sony building on Fifth Avenue. And Sony gave us this massive, it was a conference room that held 300 people, and we would regularly fill it. The table in the center of the conference room sat 150 people, and then we had chairs around it. We would fill that room regularly. So I know the value of community when technology is this early and raw. And so that's what this was like, I feel like I need to get as many people as possible curious about this shit, not afraid of it, or if they're afraid of it, just willing to go fuck it and play anyway. And then I want to find a place for them to coalesce. And we're in a different time now, so we can do that online. So the AI Salon is now this global community, and it's just amazing. And so's this channel. It's global. Hey, dude, that's Kyle. These TikToks keep me going. Thank you very much, Lunastick. You're kicking butt. I'm really just super impressed with what you're doing. It's just amazing. I remember the first time I was called sir now about 25 years ago. I was looking around. Who? What? Exactly. I definitely have sir sideburns and a sir hairline, and this is sort of more like a ma'am hairdo, but whatever. It did not look this bad for most of the day, I will have you know. I do the same thing when someone calls me ma'am. I know, it totally threw me. And I turned beet red. They were both like, "Oh my God, you turned red." It's like, because it was just such an instinctive thing. Don't call me sir. Then I felt bad. Oh man. Best tool for flowcharts and org charts. I don't know. There's a bunch of plugins for that. I don't know that world. I would think at this point there's probably some dedicated tools for that stuff that have been doing, flowcharts and org charts for a while that have now added some AI stuff. I just don't know them. I would say go to Mike Diesel, go to futurepedia.io, and that's like a directory of like thousands of tools. And I'd say just put in flowchart, mind map, org charts, and just see what comes up. I'm sure there's a shit ton in there. There's plugins you can play with in ChatGPT, but I think that the flowcharts that I've seen are just boring as fuck, and they're very basic. I have yet to see something inside a large language model that does anything sophisticated with flowcharts. But I'm not looking for that, so there might be something out there I don't know about. All right. So what are we going to do tonight? Someone asked about making GPTs. Maybe we'll make a GPT tonight. I could do a little bit of, it's already 10 o'clock. Damn. Oh, I started late. That's why. It's Friday night, though. Fuck it. Let's party. Get my iced coffee going. Let's get some energy, shall we?
You can make money with ChatGPT.
By the way, this thing.
You can make money with ChatGPT.
What is this about? I don't bring it out a lot, and it's kind of an inside joke at this point. But here's why this exists. There's a lot of TikTok channels out there, and there's a lot of channels out there. There's a lot of this there's not so much on LinkedIn. There's a fair amount on Facebook. There's a lot on YouTube, and there's a lot on TikTok. And it's idiots going, you can make money with ChatGPT. And they lean into the screen like this, and they twist their fucking heads around. And it grates in my soul every time I hear it, because I think it is doing everybody a disservice. How they're making their money is selling you courses on how much money you can make with ChatGPT. They're not making money with ChatGPT. Now, they likely use ChatGPT to write the shitty course that they're selling you. But how are they making money? They're not making money with ChatGPT. They're making money with the fact that people want to get rich quick. So they've figured out a problem to solve, and they found a new tool to solve it, and they put together these slick fucking channels.
You can make money with ChatGPT.
To sucker people in. And so it does a disservice to the tool. It does a disservice to... One of the things that I think that attitude, that tool-first attitude does is it scares people away. It makes generative AI seem like NFT bros. You can make money with NFTs. You can make money with blockchain. You can make money with ChatGPT. No. You make money by solving problems. You make money by being creative in how you help other people do something. And if you do that good enough, they pay you money. It's called business. There is not a fucking shortcut for it. Period. End of story. Just not. Occasionally someone will trip onto something and they'll be the first one to generate 100,000 t-shirt designs and get that up on Printify and, overflood the market for a week and a half and take the screenshot that they probably photoshopped anyway and said, I made $100,000 in 1 week with ChatGPT. Just give me $29.95. I'll teach you how per week. And so it makes it all seem like a sleazy fucking Ponzi, and it's not. These tools are like the most profoundly powerful tools in the history of humanity. They're deadly serious. Like they're gonna change everything. Everything. From science to medicine to the nature of work to the nature of how we value work to what you do to what's possible to what you do. Like it's gonna do all of that. Like guaranteed, and it's not going away, and it's not overhyped. In fact, in one of those corners is a video series I did called Underhyped, where I've got like 18 videos in there talking about why this is a big deal and why I think it's a bigger deal than people realize. So the you can make money with ChatGPT crowd, as far as I'm concerned, can go suck an egg. I understand why they're doing it. You know, trying to make a buck. It's just a sleazy way to make a buck. I don't even want to talk about GPTs that killed mine. Oh, that sucks, Joker. Yeah, because see, so what we're in the middle of right now, Joker. I would hang in there because, and I know you will. OpenAI right now is trying to figure out how to be a consumer application company. They've been a research lab for 5, 6, 7 years. I don't know when they were founded, but for a while. They did not expect ChatGPT to be a hit, and it was. And so they're now dealing with like being a consumer application company, and they're really fucking shitty at it. And so if you look at their terms of service for making GPTs, there were 3 areas that they basically said, Financial services and healthcare were 2 of them, right? And then, sex stuff was the other one. And there might have been one other, but basically they're avoiding the deep liability holes because these tools are not sophisticated enough right now for them to put themselves on the liability hook for financial services advice or a bad diagnosis and a malpractice lawsuit coming at them. So they're just not going to let you make those GPTs. They'll get their shit together eventually, so I'd hang in there. But yeah, that's really frustrating. Yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, let me look at some comments here. Let's get some comments going. Is he ever gonna read my comment? He just seems to be talking. Does this man ever stop talking? All right, I've already got a twin up. Good, yeah. Just keep fucking flooding them in there. Just slightly change the language. Good for you. Yes, do that. But Kyle, I haven't got familiar with GPT-4. Please slow down with GPT-5. I know. I'm right there with you. Listen, I am still, I would still consider myself in the middle of a semi-existential crisis that started on November 6th of 2023. And it's funny, November 30th, 2022 is when I sort of lost my mind and realized, oh my God, the world just changed. AI is, generative AI is like the next World Wide Web. And then almost a year later, November 6th, 2023, OpenAI has their developer conference where they launch GPTs and they also launch multimodal ChatGPT. And the reason I'm in a bit of an existential crisis is ChatGPT-4 is significant. It's a significantly different tool than the ChatGPT-4 that existed in October. like like it changed just into a completely different thing because it went true multimodal where it can see images and it can make images and it can understand talking and it can talk and it can program and it can do all this together. And then I'm starting to look at tools like Leonardo that started as a very simple image generation tool. And now it's an image generation tool and it's this real-time composer tool and it's a movie making tool. And so I'm watching every one of the individual little simple tools that we've been playing with are getting more and more and more capabilities. And they're also starting to blur like this. And then I looked at the Google Gemini launch, even though it was, people made fun of that marketing video because they accentuated the positives and or lied, as some people said. But it's a marketing video, so every fucking marketing video is a lie. What are you high? You don't think they're gonna make it look as good as fucking possible? But whatever. But if you look at what Gemini Ultra is and what's coming, the one thing that's really clear to me is it's not what we know generative AI is today. It's a different thing. It's a more visual thing. Yep, it's everywhere. People buy it. ChatGPT prompts for $25 or $47 and $1 million. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And here's the thing, Marina. Those prompt sets that you buy, will the prompts work? Yes. Would the prompts work if you just type some shit in to ChatGPT? Yes. Would they be as perfect? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe yours would be better. AI is literally magic. Changed my mind. So probably a potato. Pate and I have this debate on a regular basis in here. I am of the. Is it Arthur C. Clarke or wait? Who said? Hang on. I think it's Arthur C. Clarke. Hold please. Who said? Arthur C. Clarke, yeah. So Arthur C. Clarke in 1962, I think, 3 maybe, said any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. That's where we are. We are absolutely there. What hit me within I don't know, an hour of using ChatGPT was I've been reading about the Turing test for all of my life. Team Magical AI, exactly. What Pate will tell you, and Pate's not incorrect. What Pate will tell you is this is a mathematical equation, this is a probability engine. He's not wrong. My contention is it is such an advanced probability engine that it performs as magic. Wait, Pate's weighing in. Wait. Bard is an AI assistant. Gemini is an AI model that now powers Bard behind. Oh, yeah, right. Oh, that's true. All right, yeah. This is the similar. So Pate, this is the similar conversation to here's GPT-4, here's ChatGPT, right? So yeah, I'll get my terminology correct. Yes, correct. Are your lives recorded in case I missed one? They are recorded. If you go to YouTube, my YouTube channel is AI Learning Lab -TT for -TikTok, -TT. Someone already had AI Learning Lab on YouTube. Bastard. And I could have gotten it. I was there early enough, but I was just lazy and didn't grab it. So I'm a dum-dum. So it's AI Learning Lab -TT. Are the back episodes of these. I did not put the video up of the night that I gave out my credit card info. Although I could because I've since canceled that. Thank you, Pate, for being eagle-eyed and going, hey, dum-dum. Oh, that was some fun. That was some fun action. What What are we talking about? Oh, this shit's magic convinced me otherwise. Yeah, this is when I first started using ChatGPT. It was instantly what I thought, what I was told for years, like 10 years, that chatbots would be. For years, we were told that Siri would be this, that Alexa would be this, that AI-powered chatbots would be this. And AI-powered chatbots were never anything more than logic trees that broke the minute you asked them anything remotely out of bounds of their task, what they've been programmed to do. If you look at a lot of the layoffs that have been happening in the big tech companies, a lot of the layoffs are happening in departments where people were writing logic trees, like Alexa logic trees and Siri logic trees, because large language models just fucking answer the question. So the first thing that popped in my head when I used ChatGPT was the Turing test is done. We're done. And what it was funny when I first started using it, I said, you know what's going to happen is there's going to be a bunch of people come out of the woodwork and they're going to be like, well, we haven't really hit it yet and I saw this article like a month after I was thinking that, where this guy was like, well, I need to be in a conversation for 4 to 5 sustained hours and not have, like he started qualifying, like the Turing test hadn't been passed because it hadn't hit his very stringent definition of it. I'm like, okay, if we're into semantic arguments now about nuances of the Turing test, then we fucking passed it, right? Weren't we going to build a GPT? Yeah, we probably were. I'll get back to that and build a GPT. So Turing test, if it hasn't been passed, we're like, you know, interacting with ChatGPT is more like interacting with an intern than it is interacting with an expert system, right? You have to guide it, you have to coach it. It knows a lot. It's like got good book smarts, but it's, you know, a simpleton, so you got to guide it a lot. So, what do you want, Champy? Hang on, Champy's had it. What do you want? You want to go out to Mama? Oh, you want in? Oh, nobody let Champy in. He wanted in. Do you want to sing for the people? Do you want to do a little singing? You want to sing for the people? Huh? Do you want to sing or you just want to come say hi? Yeah, that's a good dog. Oh, that's a good doggy. Oh, that's a good doggy. Did you miss Daddy? Is that what's going on? You miss Daddy? Oh, that's a good doggy. All right. ChatGPT's magic. All these things are magic. They are. It's so part of it is just we've now got tools that are as good as or better than the technology that was in our sci-fi movies when we were kids. And Todd, really good point. Just keep in mind, it's the worst it will ever be right now. Exactly. So we've got in our grubby little hands, and we don't have to be technologists to do this. The P in GPT stands for pre-trained, meaning we don't need to be data scientists to use machine learning. That's what it's been for 2 decades. Well, we've got this large machine learning supercomputer that you're welcome to use if you bring your own data. Well, what data do I bring? All of it. Bring all of your expert set data, and then we will teach you how to take your mathematical weightings and hire someone like Pate who actually understands what all that shit means. Bring your data, come into our data center, sweat with the oldies, and then we'll make you a little expert system. That's what it was for years. It's not that anymore. Sam Altman and now every company on the planet said, let's train these things on every piece of data we can get our hands on. The more data we throw in it, the more compute we throw at it, the better it gets. Let's go. And so these things are functionally magic. They are technically quite simple and very flawed and janky pieces of shit, but they're magic. Sing, Champy, sing. Champy's a rock star. It's also pervasive with the intended, unintended slant politically of its handlers. Yeah, I think one of the things that we'll see. Sam Altman kind of inferred this in his talk at Davos this week, where they were asking him about GPT-5, and what he implied a couple of things. He implied these things are going to get much better at reasoning, and so if you followed any of the debacle after they fired Sam Altman about Q-Star and the rumors about Q-Star, and that it's basically a reasoning engine that sits on top of ChatGPT. If even a small part of that is true, ChatGPT is going to be able to start checking its own work. And the minute it can start checking its own work, it gets better really fast. It can start improving itself. So not only will it not make mistakes on your stupid little question, it's going to train itself to get better and better and better really, really fast. So it's going to reason and it's just going to be a completely different thing. So anyway, how long until we can understand what dogs are actually saying, thinking? It's funny, Todd. I just saw yesterday or the day before. They're starting to do that right now. So animal biologists are starting to map, existing knowledge of sounds of birds and animals and calls and things like that, and they're training large language models on it. And so, it's coming. That sort of shit's coming, because understanding animal language is no different than what they did with there's a paraplegic out of Italy, where they did an fMRI scan, and they told him to think about moving his legs. He was had a spinal cord injury, and at some point below that couldn't move his legs, can't move his legs. And so, but they had him think about moving his legs. And then they trained a large language model on that data. And then they sent, it's fucking insane. They created a Bluetooth bridge that sent the generative AI training of his brain when he thinks about moving his legs around the injury into electrodes at the base of his spine, and he's walking. So that's no different than an animal, communicating something or saying something. It's pattern recognition, right? So it's just different data. And that's why all these tools, if one of the things you're wondering is why are we seeing all these tools? Okay, I understand that ChatGPT, OpenAI figured out how to make words do this, but why are we concurrently seeing images, image generation tools and music generation tools, and DeepMind just invented 2.2 million new materials, 380,000 of which are stable crystals in materials science? It's like an 800-year increase in scientific breakthroughs overnight. Why are we seeing all these at the same time? Because it's the same basic technology. They're just throwing different data at it. So if you throw music data at it, it makes music. If you throw image data at it, it makes images. If you throw brain scan data at it, it does brain scans. It understands them. It understands language. It understands, they're taking fMRI data right now and having people watch videos, and then they're recreating the videos based on the brainwaves. I wrote a screenplay about this. The technology for my science fiction screenplay I wrote in 1992, the foundations for it are being experimented with in labs today that could actually do what's in my screenplay. It's fucking insane. It's just fucking bonkers. TikTok giving me a pat on the back for going 90 minutes. Sorry, Chappie, due to your father's insistence that AI is magic, I cannot support your chicken habit. Oh, Chappie, you don't get no more chicken. He's gonna get skinny, Pate. You can't let my dog get skinny. He's got to be that wide so I can put wine glasses on his back and he can walk around the house carrying wine glasses. Somehow my parrot used Alexa to call me and leave a message. Oh, that's fucking awesome. Actually, you know what would be cool? You've got a parrot? You know what would be cool? So I'm in the ChatGPT app, right? I've got a parrot, and I want you to help me train my parrot say things. Can you give me 10 really interesting ideas of things we could teach the parrot to say?
Absolutely, training a parrot can be really fun. Here are some interesting ideas for phrases. 1. Good morning, sunshine. It's a cheerful way to...
No, I mean whole categories. Like if I wanted to train a parrot to quote Shakespeare or explain quantum mechanics, and I wanted you to train him all day long, every day,
Got
could
it?
you do that?
Thinking about categories of phrases. Here are some creative categories. 1. Shakespeare quotes. Teach your parrot famous...
So you could just turn Alexa conversation on with your parrot and just have it train it all fucking day. And you just come... Now, your parrot's going to talk like whatever voice you choose. Oh my God, that'd be hilarious. You could have the smartest parrot, and you could also hook it up to an Arduino and have it, do positive reinforcement for the parrot where he gets a little seed every time he says something. Hook it up to your Arduino. But you're like, but I don't know how to program an Arduino. Sure you do. Watch. ChatGPT 4. I'd like to program an Arduino connected to a voice recognition module that every time the voice says, "Good job, you learned another phrase," it activates a reward system that feeds a snack to a parrot. Can you please help me write that program? You can do this with children. You can do this with dogs. Command good job. The command good job constant should correspond with the ID you assigned to good job command. Oh, yeah. That's right. We're hacking pet ownership now, kids. Oh, forever hooked that now has ADHD too. Just interrupts when a thought comes. Hey, I resemble that remark. Woo! Oh, man, that's really funny. Oh. Oh, we want to talk about GPTs. Let's do that. Make the parrot talk to a GPT. Do we have to add parrot to our zoo? Not yet. If we'll see if this one sticks, Cavruno. I think parrots at this point are just flying around outside the zoo. I don't think they've decided to roost, but we'll see if this one sticks. I'm telling you, man. The auto parrot trainer. Because what you should really do with the auto parrot trainer is not do it on ChatGPT, but you should do it on the unrestricted Llama 2 model that has no safety guardrails on it, and just teach it to cuss in every possible language, the most vile things you could imagine saying. and train it to say those things when people say things like, Polly want a cracker? Go fuck yourself. This is why you should not have theatricals anywhere near animal training opportunities. Theatricals are just not to be trusted with this kind of power. Oh, I love how much fun you're having with this. That's good. Sometimes this channel is really just me entertaining myself. I think most of the times this channel is just me entertaining myself. Oh my God, that's funny. Joker, there are 2 pods of whales on different coasts in Norway, he thinks. They speak different dialects. And a third went together. Yeah, there you go. I mean, seriously, we're in for it. So Google DeepMind now. Google DeepMind they created 400,000 protein folding predictions that are proving to be correct. They created 2.2 million new materials, 380,000 which are stable, which is like a order of magnitude increase in materials we didn't know existed. So, and if you're like, well, what's a crystal mean and what does materials mean? Think batteries. There is some sort of room temperature superconductor. There was just a sort of false hit on that out of Korea about 3 months ago. That if they hit it, it changes everything. It changes power transmission. It changes battery technology. Like, it's the kind of thing, like, if they get the right crystalline structures going that have the right properties, we'll have batteries that you can charge in 30 seconds that last for 4 weeks. Under load. Like, that kind of shit. And then DeepMind just announced yesterday, or was it today? It might have been today, that it's now doing sort of like advanced high school level geometry. It's solving like, geometry competition questions at like some crazy fucking insane hit rate. There's just it's just going to be one thing after another where, because so many people are focused on this stuff now, they're just pointing these machines at all the different problems that we've got. And they're going to be like, oh, here's a pile of solutions. Go deal with that. Oh, here are a bunch of ways we could cure this genetic disease. I think the FDA today just approved the first sickle cell genetic treatment that was AI created, AI generated, AI assisted, something like that. Is that Blanton's caramel corn? It is exactly what that is, Emilio's wife. And I think from what I read from the article, that FDA thing is the first of its kind, right? It's the first cure that was generated in this way, and we're going to start to see just bang, bang, dominoes, boom, 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 boom. I'm messing around with a new AI text-to-video and image-to-video website called PixVerse. PixVerse. Let's go look at it. PixVerse. Create breathtaking videos with. There's pretty good coherence there. This one looks like it's a little janky. Let's go. Waves are always weird. Their waves look okay. Huh. I wonder what they're using. I wonder if this is... Oh, is this from X? Oh, that's just their X channel. 4K upscale feature. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. Do they talk about, does anywhere talk about what it is? What's this? Discord Community Showcase Home. Discord Community Showcase Home. I'm guessing this is sitting on top of stable video diffusion, but I don't know. It looks a little more coherent than that, but I can't tell just because of they're just showing, they're showing the best examples. So you can cherry pick these things to give you really good examples, but it's hard to get predictable results with any of these things. Login successful. Create. Can I upload an image to video? Let's take one of these wacky. We'll take that dude. Yeah. Let's take that dude. Uploading image to video, seed, strength of motion prompt. Let's see what it does with no prompt. The system is operating at full capacity. All these free tools are like, we didn't think anyone would actually use it this much. We don't know what we're doing here. Well, we'll come back to that. It looks interesting. It was worth checking out. I would say if you want one that it looks like it's a bit more baked, just as an overall tool, Leonardo, their image to video stuff looks pretty good, and then Decohere looks pretty good. I don't know, man. There's just so much is moving so fast. It's so hard to know. This is kind of the existential crisis. It's like, I don't know where to put my focus. I don't know what to learn right now. You're like, but Kyle, you're supposed to be telling us what to learn. I don't know. Fucking start with ChatGPT and just keep going. Like, I don't know. I wish I had more better answers for you. I wish I could quit you. Where can I input and manipulate my own drawings for charts? Twisted Crone, lead of Vico. I don't quite know what you mean. Manipulate drawings for charts. So start uploading it into GPT Vision and ask it to describe it first. Yeah, that's a good place to start. But if she's saying she wants it for charts, you might not need AI. Like if you're looking for, if you want to do charts that have turtles stacked on top of one another to represent bar charts, there's charting software that'll do that. It's not always you don't always need AI. AI is just a tool. Charts for artistic purposes. Oh yeah, then definitely here let's go do that. We'll go play with that right now. So here's my go-to right now is just keep learning what ChatGPT makes possible. So let's see. Let's go to the internets and we'll say visually compelling chart. Who's the dude Tufty? Like here's Tufty's famous chart, right? That's the, what was this from? The Battle of something. French-Russian campaign. I don't know. Some war. But that's the Edward Tufte. That's from his book. Let's see. We got anything good in here? Infographics. Let's go grab some infographics. See if we can grab something interesting. That one's cool. All right. Oops. So I'm just going to screenshot it. And we'll grab all the text because you'll see this thing gets quite. It's quite something what it can do. All right, so we're over here at ChatGPT. I'm just going to paste that in. You can also upload it. Oh, and I have to upload it. My screenshot dumped it to the desktop. There it is. Okay. So there it is. I'm going to say describe this in as much detail as possible. This also starts to get into the accessibility thing. I don't know if the guy that was in here earlier that said he was blind and this stuff's giving him accessibility. The ability to describe stuff like this in details, it's just amazing. All right, countries, prize categories, chords, color coding. Okay, so now I'm going to say, please give me 5 new ideas for how to make this chart even more visually appealing. One of the cool things about having an image generator inside a large language model is that you can have the whole conversation about your ideas about what you want to do before you actually make the image. And then when it makes the image, it takes all of that shit into account, which is Midjourney can't do that. Stable Diffusion can't do that. But DALL-E can. So what's it say? Interactive elements, no. 3D or animated visualization. Harmonized color palette. So I'm going to say, recreate this chart with a harmonized color palette and .3D elements. And now it should. Oh no. When I used 3D, it thought I wanted it to actually create a 3D thing. So I'm going to say, recreate it with a harmonized color palette. Are we going to do it? I'll generate the image. Circular layout. Okay, here we go. So now it's generating the image. So this is a way you could do it. You can upload anything, and you could also upload, you know, two unlike images, a chart and a turtle, and tell it to do something. Like, there you go. So, you know, there's where we started, and then there's kind of how it interpreted that. And you could say, well, I don't like that, or I do like that, or add this or add that, and just keep iterating. Jeffrey Lombardo. Yeah, that's right. All right, it's getting to be late here. So let's start. Let's start winding this thing down. I'll start my 30-minute goodbye sooner than later. Is this the Nature paper with the materials prediction? Yeah, Jasmine, it's yeah, it was the Nature paper that had from Google DeepMind that basically said, here are 2.2 million new materials, go play with them, and here are 380,000 that are stable. And as of a month and a half ago, I think 800 of those stable crystals had been verified in the lab. So because they're all there, they know all the crystalline structures, they know they're stable. Now the labs can just go test which ones actually can they reproduce, and do they exhibit the properties that exist. So like the speed of acceleration in materials science in the next year is going to be fucking bonkers. 30-minute goodbyes. All right. What's the difference between GPT and GPTs? Okay, let's go do that. Really interesting question. So, ChatGPT I'm trying to think if I want to go to my box metaphor. So GPTs are one of the things that OpenAI has successfully done, and I think them calling their bots GPTs is smart, because everyone's going to start calling anything that's a large language model a GPT, right? So from a branding standpoint, GPT is going to kind of be like Xerox or Kleenex, where it actually was from a brand, but it's going to become synonymous with the generic thing. So right out of the gate, there's confusion already between GPT-4, which is the underlying foundational model, right? The underlying large language model, and ChatGPT, which is an application sitting on top of GPT-4, which is different than GPTs that are little specialized versions of ChatGPT. So wait, I do need to do my boxes. God dang it. Okay, and I actually have. Okay. Oh God, this is just painful. Okay. Box. This is GPT-4. See, it's empty right now. All you do is fill it with all of the knowledge of the public internet for the past 4 decades, and close the box, and that's GPT-4. Okay? The foundational model. It's got all this goodness in it, but the only way you can get it into it is through APIs, application programming interfaces, right? So you make requests into this thing, it does its magic, and it sends shit back out. Before ChatGPT came out, access to the APIs for this thing were available to developers for years. There was GPT-1, GPT-2, GPT-3. There were all different kinds of fine-tuned models within them, and developers could build shit on top of these things, right? So Jasper is one of those companies. Copy AI is one of those companies. Notion, with all their fancy AI shit now, is one of those companies. So there's all sorts of companies that were building stuff on top of this. ChatGPT, it's the blue one. That's ChatGPT, is an app that sits on top of this. This app makes it really easy to use all of the functionality within here. Rather than giving us all of the options, they just say, here's your little chat box, and here's a submit button, and now there's like, here's a paperclip button to upload shit. And that's what this thing does. A GPT is like a little mini version of one of these that just kind of sits on top of it that we get to build. So there are now 3 million of these little mini things that are basically just little specialized versions of this main ChatGPT. All of these are just calling the information sitting inside the box. All right? So that's GPTs. And then like how do crickets make sound? And it'll just answer that shit. Right? So you can ask it anything, or you can say, make me a picture of a caramel corn kernel on a tongue and it'll make you that. And so it can kind of do anything, which is one of the intimidating things about it, is you don't necessarily know what to do. We do need to wait for the... This is a ridiculously helpful visual. That's good, Amanda H. I mean, this is a professional video studio. Don't get me wrong. We choose to use simple props like garbage because it is easier for people to understand, not because this is an amateur hack operation. Oh, wait. Why could I not... Try again. So anyway, so ChatGPT is the general tool, and then we'll go look at a specific GPT. No, it's not, for whatever reason it's not. Apparently, a caramel corn kernel on a tongue is too pornographic or something. Whatever. Okay, so I'm going to go look at 70s. Let's see, 70s muscle car machine. So this is a GPT. This is the second GPT I ever made. GPTs are really easy to make. I'll show you how to make them in a second. And this one's sole purpose in life is to make you a poster of a 70s muscle car you can hang in your bedroom. You're like, why would anyone want to do that? And then you might also ask, well, wait, couldn't you just do that in ChatGPT? You could, but who would do that? No one. So this is something you stumble on. My metaphor for GPTs right now, it hit me today what GPTs are like. Because they're so early and they're so janky and they're so easy to make, GPTs right now are kind of like when you're leaving Walmart and they have the vending machine where you can get the little plastic cup that has a plastic toy in it. You get it for your kid to shut him up. Here, take the little thing. Don't choke on it, you little bastard. That little toy, that's what GPTs are. Like ChatGPT is the whole vending machine. And the little GPTs we're making, there's like one or two cool ones in the whole machine, and the rest of them are just janky pieces of shit. So that's what this is. This is a janky piece of shit. But it's a fun one. And so I've got one little button here and it says, I'm ready to design my dream car. So I click that button. And it says, fantastic, let's start designing your dream car. The first step is to grab your preferred model. So let me see. I'll do a 71 Corvair, which is not a muscle car, but it's kind of funny. The Chevrolet Corvair is an interesting choice, especially for a muscle car, since it's known for its unique rear engine layout and the fact that it can't take corners at speed. It doesn't exactly fit in the typical muscle car category. Would you like to go with one of these? I'm going to say, I want a pumped up resto mod Corvair as if it were a muscle car from the 70s. It was also only produced until 1969. I'd like it to be mint green and glossy with black stripes. It should have drag slicks and chrome mags and fire coming out of the exhaust pipes. And so now it's going to make us a little poster, I think. Yeah, there we go. So that's a GPT. A GPT is just a little specialized version of a thing. The cool things you can do with them, you can train them on your own data. So if you had a PDF of that's actually really fucking cool. Come on. Now, sure, it's a 16-cylinder. It's apparently a 16-cylinder engine in it, but you know. And apparently it's going in reverse because the flames are shooting forward. The Corvair, the only dragster that drags backwards. But I mean, doesn't that remind you of like, you know, those 70s stickers of the crazy dragsters? And it almost spelled Corvair right. Oh man. But if you had a PDF of, you know, a book you wrote or of specific recipes for certain kinds of food your grandma made, you could make a GPT that just searches on the knowledge that you put in it, right? So super powerful stuff. Okay, I just turned 59 today and I'm still excited about the GPT explosion. Dude, I'm 58. And here's the deal. Like, we are absolutely in a revenge of the Gen Xers moment where one of the things I'm consistently seeing I'm so discouraged from word wrestling with ChatGPT 4. Oh, with its safety guardrails. I know it's a pain in the ass. One of the things I'm consistently seeing is that you know, elder millennials and Gen Xers are fucking lit on fire about this generative AI stuff, and the younger generations don't seem to care as much about it. The only thing I can think of is we were all there. We all got to experience what happened with the World Wide Web. And you know, we watched the internet come onto the scene and transform everything. And so I think there's a palpable, visceral, holy shit, this is one of those things. But yeah, you should absolutely get excited about this stuff because it's crazy simple to do. So here's how you make them. You're not going to believe how easy it is to make these things. So explore GPTs, right? And then this is the GPT store, so you can go find things in here. And then you can go look at your GPTs, but in the upper right-hand corner, it says create. So you click on create. And then this interface, there's sort of two modes on this left-hand side. There's create and configure. I'll get to configure in a second. And then over here is the preview pane, or they also call this the playground, which is confusing as fuck because they also call the developer area the playground. So This is a different playground. It says preview. They call it playground. What? It doesn't fucking matter. Anyway, go back to evidence A that OpenAI does not know how to be a consumer software company yet. So the way you make GPTs, when you're in create mode, you just talk them into existence. And because I'm using voice to text for it to do the typing, I'm literally going to talk this into existence. So, okay. I want to create a GPT. Wait, where's my cursor? Hang on. I want to create a GPT that asks someone for how they're feeling emotionally and then responds with describing a car from history that best represents that emotion and why, and then renders a photograph of that car that looks like it should be in a magazine. That's it. It's now building it. So like literally anything that you like, it's done. Tell me about your current mood. Oh wait, so we've got to fix these things, but so I'll say, hang on. I'm feeling a little blue, and would love a little pick me up. Feeling blue. How about a 1963 Volkswagen Beetle? This car is iconic for its unique and positive, free-spirited adventure. Let's create a photorealistic image of a 1963 Volkswagen Beetle. Oh, wait. Did it? Oh, regenerate. I think I broke something. Is it still going? I can't tell if it's still rendering. I'm feeling blue. Something's broke. Oh. I might have shitty internet right now. So now what's it going to do? The Bugatti Type 57 SC from the late 1930s is going to make us feel better. Do you think as soon as it hits FIFA games, kids will start releasing AI? I don't quite understand the question. You mean when AI gets integrated into like EA Sports kind of games? I think what's more likely to happen, that's a pretty slick looking car. I think what's likely going to happen is that everyone's going to be able to make custom games that are like AAA quality games in the next 3 to 5 years by just doing what I'm doing, like speaking this into existence. So anyway, so now that this thing's made, now I can, so let's see, it says great choice. Let's give this GPT a name. How about emotion wheels? How about, let's see. Let's call it your automotive therapist. So we're going to give it a name. And now it's going to generate a profile picture. So like it's doing all the work, right? It gave it a name. It's going to give it a description. it wrote those pre-done questions. There's a little car thing. I'm going to say, that image is really boring. I want it to be super sexy and make people feel good. So it's going to make us another image. Perfect. Okay, now it's going to ask us to start refining this thing, and we're going to stop here, and I'm going to tell you why in a second. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to reload this. So now we have the cool icon, your automotive therapist. I empathize with emotions and describe a historical car that matches with a photo. That's a horrible description. We're going to go fix that. But first, we're going to save this thing. And so if I save it to everyone, that's going to make it available in the GPT store. If I save it to anyone with a link, then I can, just send it to people. Only me means only this account can play with it. So I'll save this as open. We're going to give it a category like lifestyle. Good enough. We'll confirm that. So there we go. So that works. Now, I'm going to go fix some things in it. I'm going to go edit GPT. I'm going to go to configure now. And we're going to change the description. Tell me your emotion. And I'll give you a picture of a car that will make you feel better. And then I'm going to go hashtag therapy, hashtag gearhead, hashtag whatever. Gearhead's fine. Okay. So now in my instructions, I'm going to say... Wait, well, we're going to do one other thing. So we've got these pre-written questions, and it wrote them in such a way that it's like when you click on one of those buttons, you're actually asking the GPT that question. So when you ask, how are you feeling today, it will actually answer that. So we're going to have it say, we're going to click here and say, let's get started. And then I'm going to get rid of all these other things. So the only thing someone's going to be able to click on over here is let's get started, okay? And we'll do exclamation point. Or how about let's get rolling? Because it's a car, get it? So let's get rolling. And then I'm going to say up here, this is our instruction. So this is our prompt. So I'm going to say, follow these rules. If someone says, quote, let's get rolling, ask them how they are feeling. All right, I'm going to put a bullet point in front of this because we're going to give it a couple of rules. Oops, did I mess that up? Yes, okay. Ask them how they're feeling. And then we're going to also go bullet point. After they tell you, make the image first and then describe the car you gave them to reflect their emotion and why. And then I'll give it another bullet point and I'll say, provide a Freudian analysis of how their emotion is tied to that car model, color, and year, and your reasoning in 3 simple bullet points. Points. Okay. All right. So he gave it some stupid rules, but so now what I'm doing again, what I'm doing here is I'm programming, but I'm programming in the English language, and you can do this in whatever language you speak, right? Our native language is now going to become the primary interface for all computer systems, all of them. And it won't just be language. It will be take a picture of something. It will be, talk into a computer. It will be look, point the camera somewhere. It will be a real-time conversation where it will dynamically identify different languages being spoken and automatically translate between all of them. All right, so now I'm going to update our GPT. Brand and usage guidelines. Oh, Freudian analysis. So let's see. Provide a humor us, mock analysis of how their emotion is tied to that car model. Okay, this should work. So what I just ran into there was in their usage guidelines, you can't do anything that is medical or financial because those are regulated environments, right? So Freudian analysis. Okay, so let's get rolling. So now it should ask us how we're feeling. Glad to hear that. How are you feeling today? Let's explore those emotions and find a historical car that resonates with them. I'm feeling poopy, but hopeful. Creating image. Error creating image. Why? Oh, poopy. Oh, dang it. Oh, maybe not. Let's see. There's an issue generating at the moment. However, let me still describe the car. It chose a 67 Beetle. I think Volkswagen Beetles are going to be solid recommendations here. Try again with a different model. Creating image. Error creating image. Okay, so something's broken. So let's go back to our little GPT. What did we say? I said, if someone says, let's get rolling. Okay, after they tell you, choose a car and make a 16 by 9 wide photo of that car as if it were photographed for a glossy magazine. After you make the photo, photo, describe the car you get, blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's see if that works. I don't know why. Sometimes they just peter out. This goes back to the one of the technical definitions of a lot of these applications that we talk about a lot in this channel. These things are janky pieces of shit right now. Let's get rolling. And just accept that as part of the experience, because they're going to get so much better so fast that you're going to be really bored a year from now. When these things are perfect, you're going to be like, remember when those things used to suck and we actually had to use our brains to make them do cool shit? I'm a little blue, but hopeful. Your automotive therapist, feeling a bit blue, requires creating an image. And like it told me it's going to, styled like a glossy magazine photograph. So I'd go in and tell it not to do that. So testing these things is an important part of this, right? Make it, test it, make it, test it, make it, test it. Just keep playing, keep playing. So, oh, nice. 65, you kidding me? 65 baby blue Mustang convertible. I actually had a baby blue 65 Mustang Fastback that was very close to that color. Humorous mock analysis, the emotional horsepower. Just like your emotions, the Mustang is powerful. Convertible top represents your openness to brighter days ahead. Retro vibe, the vintage aspect of the car hints at nostalgia, a subtle reminder of every emotion, like every car. All right, so that's GPTs. Good Lord, people. I said I was saying goodbye like half an hour ago, and then you made me make GPTs. What are you doing? What are you doing to me? Look at my hair. That has not gotten better. All right, people. We're going to do this? I'm going to get out of here. Okay, so here's the thing. If you're new here, go there. If you're new to AI, show and tell, please. Okay, if you're new to AI, go to the salon.ai, click on the first link. It says the AI Salon Community. This is a community that where the people that hang out in this channel also hang out here when I'm not live. And it's a really remarkable community where we help each other. You can go there, you can talk about AI. No one thinks you're a weirdo. You can be a beginner, you can be a 30-year vet. It doesn't matter. Anyone's welcome. How many PDFs can I load at once? I think 5. I think 20. 20 for the knowledge base. I don't know the size limit. I think it's 100 megabytes per or 100 megabytes total. And I'm going to go check out the show and tell channel. Brendan Tid, don't choke. Oh, wait. See, I can't say anything in here or it turns into evidence. That's lovely. I supplied a photograph of a GPT to produce a professional photo. Apparently, I'm not recognized as a 55-year-old. That's good, Becky. Looking sweet. It's also not very photo. It's not a photograph, right? It's an illustration, but it's beautiful, lovely. That's great. AI Salon Zoo. Oh, that's from Parrots Want to Be Included in the Zoo. That's from Firefly, Adobe Firefly. Very cool. Actually, yeah, we should be playing with Adobe Firefly to get some of the groovy titles in here. You know, what'd be fun is to pop some of these things from Adobe Firefly on top of images made in DALL-E. Kyle's stuck in one of his many rabbit holes. That is just too fucking close to reality. Time to go RVing. Nice. Oh, that's beautiful. It's all a conspiracy, I tell you. Who gets in next? Really good. Why does his chest look like a butthole, sort of? Or what? I don't know what that is, but it's not. I think I can get permanently banned from this channel for that bird. That's beautiful, actually. Ooh. Corey Sandler, I think you're right. I think parrots might need to get in the show. But you're right, the other animals are going to be very jealous. That's like a serious fucking show off. If I were a llama, I'd be pissed at that. For one thing, it's about 6 times the size of a llama. Ooh, those are beautiful. Actually, I'm thinking AI Salon taken over by parrots. Yeah, I think it's good. I think they're in. Yeah. It's funny, the baby parrot's not as cute. That's beautiful. Dag. All right. What was it like before 2024? We had to type search the web. Probably want a GPT. Oh my God, sweating with the oldies. Oh man. All right, you guys are awesome. Awesome. Okay, everybody, sleepy, Mr. IT. I know, me too. Okay, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go hydrate and get some sleep. Good night, Kyle. Thank you for all you give us. Absolutely. You're a great friend to us all. Thank you. I appreciate that, Dr. J. Becky Rue. I'm so done typing Beretta. Oh, Beretta, but it was a white bird. Yeah, that's right. Nah, never mind. Let's see. Good night, Kyle. Thank you for all you give us. Yep, absolutely. All right, who's in here? Forever Hooked. Robert Rossi. Thank you as always. Rudy. Good to see you, Rudy Saigo. Hope all's well down there in South Africa. I guess you're getting ready for din or something, right? Or lunch? I don't know what time it is there, but it's not where it is here. No, never mind. It's still rendering. Oh yeah, it's something rendering. What was it? It doesn't matter. Oh, what was the show? It was Columbo. I survived my first mod night. Cam Catkin, you did great. Awesome. Thank you very much for modding. Thank you to the mods. Thank you to the irregulars. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to anyone that hangs out on a Friday fucking night. We had like 165, 170 people in here. There's 147 in here right now. That blows my mind. Thanks for hanging out. I hope this is worth your time. Winston, good to see you. Brendan, thank you for what you do. I appreciate it. Joey Purdy. Steve-O, you the man. Peace out, dude. Otto, good to see you. Lord Digital Gods. Sporting the Turtles tonight. Very nice. Zach and Allah, have a great night. Thank you. Tobias, to you too. Tracy, thank you. Thank you for coming and hanging out and doing all that stuff. Pate, as always. There's an analogy here between parrots and AI models. Well, don't you know this, Pate? Parrots are magic. Parrots are harbingers of magic, Pate. That's why they have to be in the AI Learning Lab Zoo. All right, everyone. I'm out of here. Peace out. Have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow.